Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs, go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started. What's going on? Facebook Live, YouTube, Paddle and Fin podcast listeners. I was thinking about that today, Jay. Like we always say, what's up, Facebook Live, YouTube? We never say what's up to the Facebook listen or the podcast listeners.
What's Paddle and Fin?
We've been neglecting them. I apologize, boys and girls.
If
you're listening on the podcast, I'm thinking of you. So I apologize. What's new, brother?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the heat down here.
Oh, you poor baby.
I'm not whining.
Down in Tennessee, looking at the mountains, crying like a baby.
I'm not whining at all. It's great.
Drop in the comments where you guys are tuning in from, what kind of kayak you're floating out of, all that good stuff, man. Let's get some folks in here, share this up. We got Sandi Kennedy in the house. I know we've been having a little bit of some connection issues, but I think we got them all worked out. So yeah, should be a good show. Sandy's from New Jersey. She chases multiple species of fish, but snakehead's one of her specialties. She's one of my new canoe teammates, so always good to chat with her. D. Andrew Watson in the house. Gotta apologize, man. I didn't see that Susie had replied to your question in the noobs tournament, and then I replied basically saying the same thing. So I'm sorry, man. Good luck this month in the noobs tournament. Slivka's in the house. What's up? Old Slivka and a couple of the Great Lakes guys, I think, are camping out here tomorrow night for the Lake Geneva tournament this weekend that got rescheduled. So it should be a good time. Good time. A little barbecue action, you know, all that good stuff. See what you're missing from moving away, Jay?
Yeah, they don't have anything like that here.
Just had to throw that 1-2 punch in there, you know. It's all good.
I'll see you.
Yeah, better freaking moving to Tennessee. Leave me here by myself. Son of a gun. Let's get our guest of the hour in the house, Mrs. Sandi Kennedy. Sandy, you got us?
Oh my God, where's my picture at?
She has us audioly, so that's good.
I do have you audioly.
If you click settings in the bottom of the screen there, that should turn your camera on if you select one. But for those that don't know, Sandy's from it's New Jersey, correct?
Yes, I am from Jersey. I'm Jersey
That's what
girl.
I thought. Jersey Girl Fishing on Instagram. I couldn't remember. I think what it was is I was talking to our guy from Waypoint TV, and he's in Rhode Island. So for some reason, I was thinking Rhode Island, and I knew that was completely wrong. But you chase a multitude of like different species of fish up in your area, and I know I've done a podcast with you before, and we've talked about the snakehead and stuff, but which I want to get into all that good stuff because that's something that's intriguing to me. And Jay likes fish with teeth, so I'm sure he's going to enjoy this episode. So for the folks that may not know you, just give us a little background on like who you are, where you're from, how you got into fishing, and all that good stuff.
I think I'm getting my camera setting on now. Hold on.
All right.
I don't know what's going on here.
It's all good.
But you can
do
hear
audio.
us with the delay.
Yeah, we have audio connection. That's good enough.
Maybe that's better. No one could see me. I'm mysterious.
There you go.
Who's this mysterious woman on the podcast?
Snakeheads are my claim to fame. Possibly. there's not too many women out there fishing for them that
Sure.
I have
Yeah.
seen. It's kind of a taboo sport, if you may. Like a lot of people are really threatened by snakeheads. They think that they're going to devour everything in the area, and they're going to, their bass fishing is going to be devoured by these snakeheads. But I've been fishing for them since 2014, and I got to tell you, I've caught some nice bass under their snakehead fry. So they're swimming side by side. They're eating each other. We got to make the best of it. It's like you get lemons, you got to make lemonade. Get
Sure.
snakeheads, you catch some snakeheads.
I like that analogy, and I know like the last time we did a podcast together, you were kind of saying that like that's kind of like a big thing or I don't want to say myth because I don't know if it's a myth or if it's true or not, but like a lot of folks thought that these snakeheads would decimate like the bass population, which I remember when we first talked, like you had said that it doesn't really seem like it's affected it at all, really.
Of course, they're going to compete for food. So that was really the main thing. People think that they're going to outcompete bass for food. That's always, something you're going to worry about. If I could snap my fingers and take snakeheads away, of course I would. They're not supposed to be here. But largemouth bass are also invasive. They were brought here, introduced. So I'm hoping maybe someday that they'll be recognized as a game fish and enjoyed.
Yeah, which that's totally interesting. It's the snakeheads are the ones that could like walk on land or like swim on land. I don't know how you would say that, right? They could be out of the water, right?
They can be out of the water. Yes, they can breathe for a very long time. They have that crude lung, I think they call it, where they can breathe air. And they do a lot of times. They show themselves. You can see them gulping for air on the top. But they don't really walk on land. But I'm sure if they were put on the shore, they're actually going to go back to the water. If you just dump them off, you catch them and you drop them on the bank, they instinctively know how to get back to the water.
That's interesting. Super interesting. I'm going to pull up couple pictures of a snakehead here for those folks that may not know what we're talking about. What species of fish?
Their cousins, the bowfin that are out here that are not invasive, those can also
very
be
similar. Very, very similar fight.
Yep.
I think the bowfin dig deep when you hook them. They tend to like go for the bottom. The snakeheads go aerial.
And I think the snakeheads will go aerial too.
Oh, yeah. They go aerial a lot. They love to jump out of the water.
Interesting. So when like you're out fishing for these things, like what kind of like rod and reel setup are you using? Because and what kind of fishing line? Because those teeth are pretty gnarly. I mean, are you using like 50, 60-pound braid or something?
I know people that do, but no, 20-pound braid. I just like to check the line for frays. Like if I catch one, I'll tend to check it. I don't always check it, but 20 pounds seems to be good. No problem. Medium heavy rod. I like to be 7 feet or under.
Sure. Okay. What kind of like baits and techniques are you guys using to go after these things?
It's pretty much everything that you would use for bass. Right now, like this time of year, in spring I usually do like subsurface. And right now it's like I'll be using like a swim bait. But frogs, people are catching them on frogs, top water.
Yeah, I've heard that you could get into a pretty cool topwater bite with these things, just running frogs over weave beds and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's the best. I think that's the best way to catch them, topwater, no doubt. Hands down, like my favorite.
Are you going out like sight fishing for them, or is it just basically you're just fishing an area like you typically would for a largemouth bass?
Well, in the spring, I usually bank fish.
Okay.
And you're not really sight fishing for them right now, but definitely when they have fry, you could. It's like a beacon. You see their babies, they're bubbling in the water. They're snakehead fry right there. I'm going to throw a topwater frog across them.
How long does it take for one of these things to get like a decent size? Like, is it many years, couple years?
I think within like 2 years.
2 years,
good
they're
size.
Okay, because I know like the thing with us over here, invasive species wise, is the Asian carp, and those things eat. Isn't it like their body weight a day, Jay, or something like that?
I honestly don't know, but I do know they're heavily destructive, and they can reproduce like 3 or 4 times a year.
That sounds like snakeheads, actually.
Yeah, I was just reading actually about this. The snakeheads can have the females can carry as many as 50,000 eggs.
Yeah, it's
insane. Yeah, that's a lot of snakeheads, like potential snakeheads.
So it's really mind-blowing to me that I still know people that haven't caught them yet. And they're throughout the Delaware, every tidal water connected to the Delaware. I'm like, how do you not catch them? They're everywhere.
So this report says Asian carp can eat anywhere between 5 and 40% of its body weight in a day.
Wow.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Considering, how hefty those things, how hefty they are. Like, they're just nuts.
They're fishing them mainly on the Delaware, huh?
The snakeheads?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're throughout the Delaware, any tidal creek connected to it.
It says that a snakehead can consume up to a third of its size, or may consume prey up to a third of its size. So, I mean, it's
kind of like a snake.
Down, man. Yeah, right.
So I think bass are only like half, right?
That's a good question too.
It's really weird because, like, some of the places that we've caught them, like I've been fishing for them or trying to fish for them since 2013. I didn't catch my first one until 2014. But some of the places we actually caught them in, they're not there anymore. They move. So they're a very shy fish. And if a place gets beat to death, it seems like they move out of there. Interesting.
So they're kind of smart.
Yeah, they're very intelligent. They remind me of trout, which is another fish that's something I have a love-hate relationship with trout because they're very smart also. The farm raised trout. They seem to learn.
Sure. This says a largemouth bass can consume as much as 5% of their body weight daily. So definitely not as much as a carp or a snakehead. So I guess we could say an Asian carp and a snakehead is like the fat guy of the lake.
Yeah.
Fat smart guy.
They just eat too much.
There are so many fish on the invasive species list in my state. Like even warmouth. You think like a warmouth? Like really? That's an invasive species? What damage do they do?
Yeah, I mean, a warmouth is basically a bluegill.
Yeah, we know how vicious bluegills are, like for what they are. I mean, as far as joking goes, I mean, those things are pretty. Like, if they were full size, like gigantic, those would be a force to be reckoned with. As far as other species in the water.
Yeah, I got the list here for invasive species for New Jersey. There's 3 kinds of carp: green sunfish, flathead catfish, snakehead, warmouth, oriental weatherfish. What the heck is that?
I don't even know what that is.
That sounds invasive.
Here, dude, I'm gonna pull this on the screen. It looks wild, super crazy.
We have quite a few here. We really do.
It's like, is that just? I wonder if it's from like overfishing or what.
I don't know, dude.
That's like
It's got
it's like a catfish
all
and a
kinds of
snakehead.
whiskers.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that does look like a catfish and a snakehead.
Catfish and snakeheads are making babies in New Jersey. Watch out, folks.
You know what? Crossbreeding, hybrids.
Hey, life always finds a way.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Just like
That's
Jurassic
crazy.
Park.
Yeah, I wonder where they.
I
have
would
so
have never
many-
thought that many invasive species in New Jersey.
Yeah,
But
we
I
have a
mean, I
lot.
guess
We have nuclear plants here, you know.
oh, so
Yeah.
you got
So-
fish with 3 eyes.
Yes, we do.
I mean, it's unrelated to like invasive species, but I remember reading an article about somebody somewhere in Pennsylvania. Somebody had let go, I think it was Pennsylvania or New Jersey, one of the two, had let piranhas go, and
Yeah.
people were catching piranhas out of a lake.
I heard that too. I actually heard that too.
It's like that's not good. Like that's like flushing your gold. Like they tell you not to flush goldfish down the toilet. It's like
The
like, why you dumping
snakeheads,
fries?
actually, at one point, you could buy snakeheads in the pet shop. I remember actually saying
Oh.
that. So
Well,
there's
yeah,
so many
that might
theories
be
with
the
that.
answer.
Like it's a
yeah.
food source. They flush their snakeheads. You never know.
So for Illinois, we got big head carp, brown trout, the salmon, both species of salmon, the rainbow trout, brown trout, which I'm assuming they're referring to Lake Michigan. Those were actually planted in there in the Great Lakes. The common carp, goldfish, muskie is actually an invasive
Really?
species.
Wow.
Yeah, in Illinois, and striped bass.
Wow.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. Isn't that amazing? Like the sports fish that you think are sport fish are not. They're invasive.
That kind of, man. Now I want to go down the rabbit hole of looking up every state and see what fish isn't native. But it's when you were in Idaho, didn't like smallmouth were like a non-native species of fish, or am I thinking of
No.
somewhere else?
No, not in Idaho. No, I can't. Oh, they have. What is that fish called? I forget their invasive. The pike minnow. Like we were catching
Okay.
a bunch of those. Those are the ones in the snake are huge. Like I didn't even know what the thing was. I had Steve tell me. I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "Well, he caught the first one like speed fishing with like a Ned rig, because we were going down the current on the river. He's just bouncing this thing like vigorously, and those pike minnows just jack it. And they tell you like when you catch a pike minnow, toss it on the shore or something. Dispatch it in some way. But
Well, that's like the grass carp here in my lake. I actually hooked one the other night. Did I send you that video?
yeah, you did.
I haven't posted it yet, but it was thing had to be like 50 pounds. They want you to get it out of the lake. Couldn't even the day thing. I was by myself.
Oh my
There you
God.
go.
Oh, bam! There we go.
Here I am. Here I am. I'm here.
Got it.
Sorry, guys.
I like it. No
you're
worries.
good.
No worries at all. But I just watched something. So are you a huge Mike Iaconelli fan, since you're like Delaware River,
This
New
is my best
Jersey?
friend.
Like,
He's
is
my
he?
boy. Yeah. I haven't seen him in like 2 years.
I've been watching this kind of like documentary series that he released, and in there he was talking about how BASS went to the Delaware River and he got super excited, and day one didn't turn out so great for him, but then he came back over a 4-day tournament and actually won that event.
Could you
And he
imagine
said
if he didn't win that? I couldn't
Yeah.
even imagine.
Well, and he talks about that in that documentary, and he said that win meant more to him than winning AOI or the Bassmaster Classic, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Like I wish they would bring something like that back here, because there's a lot of fishing people here, and you don't really think about that throughout the East Coast. You don't really think about bass enthusiasts, but yes, we do exist, and we showed up. So
Speak of the devil.
every time he mentions something like that, I'm gonna say, bring it back to Jersey. Bring it back to Jersey. Every time Mike Iaconelli says something, I'm like, you got to do something here.
Doesn't he do a charity event up there every year?
Well, he used to, but now it's
Okay.
pretty much he's been kind of spreading it around. He did Maryland, and I think it's like New York or something upstate. He's doing now. But I hit him up every once in a while. He posts something like, "Bring it back to Jersey."
Nice.
And bring it back here.
I like it. I like it. I like it. When did you get into a kayak, like in kayak fishing?
Oh God, the banana boat. My first kayak was a Dick's Sporting Goods special.
Nice.
2009, I think.
Okay.
We first got kayaks. It was really before the sport was popular around here. We were like the first people out there.
Yeah, because you and your husband both are big into kayak fishing, correct?
He's actually OG snakehead fishing around here.
Okay.
He's one of the originals. Yeah.
Right on. So when you're not chasing snakeheads, like what's your second fish you'd like to chase out in your area?
Well, my heart is always with bass.
Okay.
I've had a new appreciation for crappie fishing lately.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was not just a fish you fish for in the winter when it was dead.
Yeah.
Fish for them year round. I didn't realize that.
Sure.
But yeah, picking up on that, doing some BFS fishing for them, which I never did before. That's a lot of fun though.
So, what is that exactly?
Like bait caster.
Okay. All right. So you guys are doing some saltwater fishing.
Little saltwater fishing too. Hopefully more this year than last year and the year before. But yeah. I mean, we're right by the Jersey Shore. We're like 40 minutes away. So
I got to ask you, is the Jersey Shore all it's cracked up to be?
Did you watch the TV show Jersey Shore?
I did. Yeah, buddy.
Party's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being there as a kid. I went down to the boardwalk and all that stuff. It's pretty cool down there.
Well, I usually go to Brigantine to fish or Ocean City. They're the more family-friendly ones, not like the MTV show.
Seaside Heights or whatever that is.
Heights. Wildwood's a little bit wild. So
nice.
Yeah, hopefully I caught one flounder ever, my first flounder a couple years ago. Bluefish. Never caught a striper. That's my goal. They're delicious. I really like to catch them, if I can.
Well, they get huge out there. I know that's like a big guide industry thing out there, is fishing for those huge stripers.
Yeah.
But you got to go out a little ways, right? You can't catch those up by shore. You got to kind of get offshore a little bit.
Yeah. My husband gets seasick, so I don't see any charter boats in our future. So
tell him to man up. Dramamine.
Right?
Let's go.
It's always like surf fishing for us. So
you just got to learn to pre-drink before the boat ride.
I think so. Yeah, mix a little Dramamine in there.
Yeah,
there you go. It's always good. Yeah,
get them feeling good and just throw them on the boat. Say, this is what we're doing.
This is the part where we say we are not doctors and we are not qualified to give any kind of consultation or advice. This is just merely what we do on the set.
Yeah. I love it. No, that's super cool. I dig it. Like you earlier, like Jersey in a state a lot of folks think of to go fishing. I mean, me and Jay can relate, Jay was in Illinois. Now he's in Tennessee. Everybody wants to go to Tennessee and fish.
Yeah. I'm like legit. I'd lost all my Illinoisian status.
But I mean, if there was one thing that you think is overlooked by fishermen that would potentially want to go fish New Jersey, what are they missing? What would you tell them is you need to go do this if you're going to come to New Jersey and fish?
Well, I guess, the shore. You can't beat the shore. You're always going to catch something good there. We do have snakeheads here, which is a big draw for a lot of people. You can't catch them across the country. So there's limited spots. You got like Maryland, Pennsylvania. So Florida too, bullseyes. I want to go to Florida and catch a bullseye. Haven't caught one of those yet. But I don't know. Jersey is kind of a hard sell. Like, I don't think too many people really want to come here. Sopranos.
Definitely can relate.
Is it Atlantic City?
Culture.
Atlantic City is in New Jersey, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the ghetto now, so I don't know if you want to really come there. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Jersey Shore has tainted all that, so everyone just thinks of all those goops.
Hey, I'm from the murder capital. I used to be the murder capital, Camden. That's where I'm from. I think we've been trumped by a few other states, counties, cities.
Yeah, there's a couple not so good places out there.
I was really proud of that. Yeah. I'm from the murder capital.
You're like, I survived.
I survived, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, walked out alive.
Yeah,
stabbed the ball with my fishing pole.
I used to hear a lot of stuff about when I used to live in Joliet, and people would be like, "Oh man, Joliet! Like, yeah, I used to like dodging bullets out there. Like, yeah, all the time. Yeah,
yeah." And then people ask me, like, did you fish when you were young? How did you start out? And no, I didn't fish in Camden. Like, that wasn't really a thing. I don't even know if there's lakes in Camden. We have the river. I didn't really venture far. So
it's like, go to school, go home. Go to school, go home.
Yeah, pretty much. I stayed on the path.
Don't look at anybody. You're like, no eye contact. Yeah, anybody calls you, keep walking.
Yeah.
Learn to run.
Yep.
Well, I know you mentioned the Delaware River, which is kind of an interesting body of water. From what I understand is it's a tidal waterway, or a tidal swings in and out of this river, and it raises and lowers, like, I believe it was like 7 to 8 feet on any given part of the day, which makes it like super interesting and different.
That is really interesting, because when the pros were fishing the Delaware River for that tournament you're talking about, they were stumped. Some of them got beached, and they were just like, oh my God. I remember trying to talk to Kevin Van Dam after the tournament, and he just blew by me like nobody's business. Like, he didn't want to talk to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, some of them really did bad on that, because they're used to fishing, I guess, lakes that are plentiful and not tidal, and you could catch a big bass on them. The Delaware was tough for those pros. Really tough.
Yeah, I know that. It's just interesting to me with like the tidal swings, because when that water was pulling out, I mean, it looked like it was moving.
It's treacherous.
It like super swift currents. And I mean, you got to imagine 8 feet of water just rushing out and then coming back in. It's pretty insane. And I guess I didn't realize like how close it was, to the ocean. Like, basically you got the inlet down there in the Delaware Bay, right? Like pushing and pulling in and out of there, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that in a kayak. I'll stay.
Do you guys get like saltwater species that make their way up into that area, like around Philly?
Stripers. Yeah, stripers come through.
Okay.
They come through to meet. So there's I think maybe they might be moving through right now, or I might have missed the striper migration.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people that were catching them off of the Delaware.
Interesting. No, it's super, super cool, super unique waterway there. I know, like, that's a huge thing on the Delta out in California as well. We got a question from Mr. Carroll. He says, what's the fishing like in Delaware Bay versus the open ocean?
I haven't really fished much of it, but I fished National Park off off of the Delaware, and I've caught stripers, like the short stripers, and a few little perch because they were actually biting on the bait that I had for stripers.
Nice.
So,
nice.
I mean, you catch a lot of stuff in there. I actually saw someone caught a sturgeon there, and I was like, a sturgeon?
Oh, now you're talking Steve's language.
Mr. Carroll.
The hell did you catch a sturgeon in there?
Yeah.
Jay's done that with Steve out in Idaho, and that's what he does is he catches huge sturgeon out of a kayak.
I would love to catch one of those.
I caught Mr. Carroll out there. He will set you
He's
up.
caught bigger ones. So mine, in girth, wasn't even anywhere near. So have you seen that video of the sturgeon jumping out of the water right next to the kayak? You have to have seen this.
I'll find it.
You should find it. So that's Steve's video. So Steve was actually recording it, and one of his friends or something was in front of him. And so with the sturgeon, when you catch it, especially in more shallow water, if you start just yanking on the rod while you're reeling, you can bring that fish up and it'll go airborne, because they'll actually jump out of the water when they're early in the mornings, or when they're active. They'll jump out of water like whales do, right? Or whatever other kind of, even carp. They'll just go straight out of the water and do whatever they're doing and splash down. But you can actually horse one up to the surface, and it is crazy how close this, I think it was over 8 feet, but it was estimated to be 250 to I think 300 or 3.25 pounds, maybe even 350. I think Steve, if you want to correct me on that, but it's a huge fish. But we ended up bringing up so many, but they're fun. I mean, it's a challenge to do it, and they live in very specific, bodies of water, and it is just amazing. Steve's the man. I mean, if anybody wants to catch sturgeon, this is the guy. Especially,
Scuba Cuda out here. I'm out here with one of our good friends, Bryce Thompson, and he's going to be on the Cuda HD today. We're going to be targeting some big sturgeon.
Yeah. So Steve just said that it was about 300 pounds. This fish that's going to jump out of the water. Look at that.
Oh my God.
It's huge, and even though that looks amazing, it's a lot different in person to see these fish.
It's like a torpedo coming out.
Oh.
Yeah, the pure size of these things, it's just, and when you're in a kayak, they're the size of the kayak pretty much. It's just crazy.
I just want to say nice job on the nice job on the 80s porn music in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
You said 300.
Had the handlebar mustache.
Yeah, but no, that's a good time, man. If you ever get time to, you got a bucket list, put that on there and at least give that a whirl. There, like I said, I know a heck of a lot more now about those fish than any other time, obviously, because I've been back to Idaho 3 different times, and I always had I lost a big one the first time. And then I went back and skunked, and there's video out there,
didn't
buddy.
Happen.
Yeah,
where is it? Where is it?
It's not my video. It's actually with Jameson. It's on the cutting room floor because I couldn't complete the task. But we were.
You get that lot.
It was,
yeah, that was a shot.
Yeah,
it was. Steve verified. He said I watched it happen. So you got some defense there.
I still caught one, and you haven't yet, Brian. So there.
I haven't tried.
Oh, burn.
I haven't tried. It's all right. It's all right. My day will come. I will go visit the infamous Steve Carroll, and I will absolutely dominate your record by at least a foot.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, listen to this. Why isn't everybody that comes on? What have I done?
It's just your persona, Jay. It's just
apparently,
when you got a baby face,
Aw.
I mean,
He's
that's what happens.
adorable.
Oh, thanks.
You're so cute. Just want to grab those
His
dimples.
cheeks.
See?
Yeah. I think there's a back.
Dimples. It's the dimples.
It's always the dimples.
I love it.
It's the lady killer.
Mhm.
Oh, geez. So what's next? What are you looking forward to most this season, Sandy? Like, you guys got any big trips planned? New species of fish you're planning on chasing, or anything like that?
Well, flathead catfish.
Oh,
Another
okay.
invasive species has been on my list, and muskies too. Actually, muskie.
Okay.
I want to get down the shore more. I haven't really been down there and neglected that. So, and I got my Flint new canoe. So I only had like 3 trips out on that by the time I got it because of the pandemic. Everybody was like back ordered them, and
Sure.
so that's something.
Nice.
And I want to really invigorate the sport of snakehead fishing.
I like it.
Go for it.
Not that many women out there fishing for them, so tons of
The-
guys.
This is an interesting question, and I always like asking this whenever I have a lady on the podcast. Like you say, there's not very many women fishing for snakehead, but I think there's not as many women fishing as I think there should be, right? And I think that's why I love having ladies like yourself on the show to promote that. What do you think holds a lot of women back from getting out into fishing?
Maybe a little self-doubt.
Okay.
They don't think that I mean, if I didn't have anyone to show me how to fish, which when I was growing up, I didn't have anyone that really fished. My dad took us fishing one time and we didn't catch anything. So on the way home from the shore, we bought a fish at the fish market. So if you really don't have anyone to take you out and show you how to do it, it's not really something girls, I think, are inclined to do.
Sure.
But I was always kind of a tomboy, and I always wanted to do stuff the guys did. And when I met my husband, he's actually the one that got me into fishing. So I don't know. And I know that when I'm out fishing and other women pass me by, or little girls, they say, "Can I go fishing? Can you take me fishing?" It's almost like, at least in my state, the women don't really know that that's what they can do.
Sure.
I think we're in this, the middle of the country, southern states, it's a way of life. People go fishing all the time. But in New Jersey, not that many women actually fish here. So I think
I would have to agree. I would have to agree, because it seems like, because me and Brian have talked about this before too. Is that I don't know if it's the same for New Jersey, but I know a lot of these bigger city states, you're kind of taught to be inside more than out, and I think there's a lot of preconditioning that go with that. And especially being a female, you guys are, you're supposed to be cute and play with dolls and not get dirty, and at least as far as the preconditioning goes.
Did you just describe yourself?
I did. Always got Purell on
you. In a petty?
Yeah. I was like, fish are icky, but you get down in the country though. Girls are completely different.
I think it really is.
You got girls mudding on ATVs and don't mind getting on the sticks. So I think it has a lot to do with just your correlation and geological location to where you're living, like near a city or near the country, and if you got people in your family that are bringing you up that way.
Yeah.
I
I've had
was going to say
ticks
that goes
on
for
me,
guys too.
ticks and mosquitoes, and people are like, "What are you doing out there?"
Yeah.
Getting hooked.
Ticks.
Well, and it's an experience, right? I think a lot of folks don't get to experience the outdoors as much as they should. Granted, in the past 2 years, a lot of people have and back out in the outdoors and experience that because of the things going on in the world. But I think it's super cool, man. I love it when I see a lady like yourself out there doing it, promoting the sport of fishing to and for women. You know what I mean? And it's funny because like every guy I've ever met, you know, it's like if a woman's asked them to teach them how to fish, like they're like, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? And I know there's kind of a barrier there because it's a male dominated like sport / hobby, you know, so there's some intimidation there, it seems like sometimes from what some of the ladies have said. But I love seeing that there's more and more and more folks getting out there and giving it done.
You know, that's really crazy that you mentioned that, because like a lot of people that I know and I talk to them about me fishing, they're like, what do I do? I get messages on Facebook, on Instagram from where I work. They're like, how do I start? What do I have to do? What can I use? And I'm like, this is really cool that they're asking me, that they trust me to give them information.
No, it's super cool. Like Susie that works with the podcast here, you know, and she just did, there's a woman's event every year that they do, and they try to switch locations. Last year, I think it was at Table Rock Lake. This year it was down in Texas on Lake Fork. And like every year it doubles. And, you know, Susie has said the same thing to us. Like, it's so cool when other women reach out to me and they ask me for advice or they're like, yeah, I want to get into this. Like, it's like a huge confident boost, right? Like,
yeah.
And it makes you feel good that you're doing something awesome, obviously, that these other ladies are catching on and getting into.
I actually watched that podcast, and she said they're moving up to the east. So somewhere close to me would be cool, because I would love to join up with everyone.
We will drop that in Susie's ear, and we'll make that happen. Go to Jersey, Susie.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I would just say to any ladies that are out there or whoever is listening right now, if you want to learn about fishing, feel free to reach out to any of us. But also, you know, YouTube is a great asset.
Sure.
I have learned many things on YouTube besides fishing. I mean, if you want to learn something specific or just get into it, I think even Mike McKinstry's got some pretty good videos on there on some beginner stuff. But just don't overthink it. Watch a couple of videos and just go out there and try a few things. It's called fishing for a reason, not catching. So just know that off the bat. And maybe start off with something simple. Go for some bluegill and maybe not some bass. You know,
unless you're fishing with
unless you're fishing with Brian, and then you can, you know, yeah, you know.
Then it's
but I mean,
catching.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would say you just use YouTube and then reach out to your friends that you know, or even personalities like Sandy. I mean, just, you know, reach out to people you think that you can identify with, and I guarantee you somebody will answer you back and give you at least some insight as to what to use.
I love that, man. That's good stuff. And I mean, Sandy, if you had to give like one piece of advice to man or woman out there that has been like on the fence, like, I should start fishing, this fishing thing looks cool, what would you say to them as far as like doing it?
I would just say, like, it's a sport where you really don't have to invest a lot of money in. You could get the cheapest rod and reel, whatever lure, bait, and it's a good time. Like, really, I can't say much more than that. Like, go anywhere. You catch, like he said, like bluegill, easiest fish to catch. Then you work your way up. Like, you're going to get addicted to it no matter what. So,
Jay's good at catching bluegills. I just wanted to throw that in there.
I'm the best.
You ever catch a red breast? What, a red breast sunfish?
Yeah, you caught a bunch out here. Green sunfish, bluegills,
Green sunfish?
warmouth.
Yeah.
There's warmouths out here too.
Oh,
yep.
Green and warmouths are invasive here. Oh,
yep. You got rock bass too.
Yeah, rock bass.
Actually, I saw a tutorial somewhere of how to catch a sunfish, and I'm thinking, like, you take a little hook, you ball up some bread, you throw it out there, and you catch a sunfish.
Well, and the thing is, too, people, they need, like, you know, they need to go to the bait store. You can use bologna, bread,
Yeah,
like
anything.
you said, you can buy. Well, I mean, you can buy like the artificial baits that a lot of people use for trout, like at Walmart. You can get those gulps, and I mean, those fish, like I said earlier in the thing, in the conversation, they're voracious, man. They will eat like anything for the most part. I've even caught them on bare hooks. So I mean, just screwing around.
Exactly. Yeah, you could take
Matt
a soda can, some fishing line, a little hook, some bread. You can make a lot of money. You could do the ghetto style of fishing.
Yeah.
My man Matt Linsman's in the chat. He said, "Hey Jay, now I didn't turn this on to hear about rock bass."
It was he likes a longer, darker fish.
Steve Carroll says, "Always wear the PFD. River will dump even the seasoned angler." Jay got to see that firsthand. I know that was kind of a traumatic scenario for both of you guys, man. And we've talked about that before on this podcast, like numerous times. Like moving water is dangerous.
Yeah, especially around snakeheads.
Yeah, they could eat you.
I was gonna say, dude, they got some gnarly teeth.
I actually fell in the water one time, and I was scared for my life.
you know what I think those things look like? Remember that horror movie Critters?
Oh yeah.
Like they have that same head and the same mouth and teeth. Like I never get it out of my head. Yeah, you never know. I'm sure maybe that's where that whole inspiration of that came from. You never know.
Oh, that's funny. That's too funny. Good stuff. Well, we're kind of winding down here, Sandy. Like anything else you want to talk about? Like throw out there for the good folks at home, and not only that, like any shout outs and where can people follow you and all that good stuff.
Well, they could follow me on Instagram at Jersey Girl Fishing, YouTube Jersey Girl Fishing. I'm affiliated with Cast King, Your Tackle, New Canoe, of course. So you want any demos on a new canoe, contact me, New Jersey. I'm out of Sicklerville, Bait and Hook. I will take you out for a demo. Nice. Any new canoe you want.
Heck yeah. That's what we do at New Canoe.
Yeah.
Where you at, Jay? You're over there in the free market, free agent territory.
Pretty much. It's nice. I've got a jacket and a new canoe.
Oh, I love it. Well, Sandy, I appreciate you jumping on tonight, chatting with us, and just sharing the good word and what you do and all that good stuff. It's always good chatting with you. I always enjoy it and love what you do. Keep encouraging those ladies out there and get them out on the water. Steve Carroll just said he subscribed. Boom.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
He's the guy you want to get hooked up with to go out and catch a sturgeon. So when you're ready, that's
what I need.
Hit him up.
Yep.
I feel the need for speed. Yes.
Right on. Thank you, Sandy. We will catch you on the next time around. And if you got anything coming up, let us know, and we'll get you back on.
Always good vibes. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy. We'll see you.
See you.
All right, Mr. Randall. Another great show. Cool stuff as always. Another unique guest on the old podcast. And love it, man. Love it. You got any fishing plans for the weekend?
Still not sure yet. I'm thinking about it. I still got to get out.
That means no.
Well, there's other things going on still. Oh, and I'm kind of under the whip right now.
I get it
because I've been slacking a little bit, but I do want to get out there and use that foot pedal. I haven't gotten a chance to use that yet on the new canoe.
You're gonna be in love.
I know. I've been dreaming of it forever.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. This weekend's gonna be good. Shout out to Jeff Hepp, Fish the 50. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff, go follow Fish the 50. And Jeff has helped us out with our tournaments and kind of served as the chaplain for the paddle and fin crew and all the tournaments. And he's got a goal to catch a fish in all 50 states. And I think he's caught like 6, or I think he's caught fish with me in 6 states. And we're going to knock off 2 more this weekend, Illinois and Wisconsin. So he's in town. He actually just shot me a text, and he's got a bunch of bluegill tonight over at the campground. So
also technically he just did Illinois.
He did, but we're going to change that bluegill to northern pike and largemouth bass.
There you go.
And
there you
maybe
go.
a Walter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
so,
totally oh man.
Yeah.
That make is
and we're going to go up to Wisconsin tomorrow as well. So we're going to see if maybe we get down some Walters and some bass up there as well. So then we could have a good old fish fry tomorrow night. Good stuff,
Eat
man.
A pike. Eat a pike with him, dude.
Yeah, that's true. I
didn't
didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to put the slimy bastard in the live well and just,
I know, dude. Those things.
Then I got to clean it out, you know? Because I got him and his buddy, so we're not fishing out of kayaks this weekend. It'll be out of a boat. I know, boo-hoo, but no, it should be a good weekend, man. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So it should be a good time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then next weekend, me.
And then Jay's in town.
That's right.
Like it.
And well, again, we'll probably be in the boat.
I'm gonna have to not let you leave. No, I was thinking we'll go do a river float though. River float.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
We got to shoot some video too, so be on the lookout for that. Speaking of which, if you're listening on the podcast Friday, if you guys are watching now, tomorrow, got a cool little video releasing on the Paddle and Fin page, YouTube page. Rigged up a new canoe Frontier 12 and an XI3. So if you guys are thinking about getting into an XI3, I kind of walk through the wiring setup, and we did a cool setup for the customer for the battery because it was through the Rocktown Adventures here locally to me, and we took a one of those new Yak Attack Pro Black Pack crates, and that's going to serve as his battery box. So we kind of rigged up all the stuff through there, did some of the through haul wiring kits on it to run the lines through and stuff. So pretty cool setup just to give you guys some ideas. Maybe if you're looking to set up a boat. So that'll release tomorrow at noon, I believe is noon Central is what I set it for. So should be cool. Check that out. You got anything else, Jay? Final thoughts?
No, sir. As usual.
As usual. Jay
like
never lets us down.
The 10 words I said in the podcast, that's it. That's all I got. That's all it's in take.
Love it. Love it. All right, boys and girls. Till next time, tight lines, smooth paddle. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You could support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.